Hello, I'm Tali and today it's time to build another TBR. So Sarah over at Wicked Reading has put together year 2 of the Horror Bingo Challenge. This is very much based on the Reddit Fancy Bingo board, but with a horror leaning. I have so many still to read from last year. Don't even ask. Don't even ask. And now we're moving on to the new one as well. So these will be overlapping for a few months. Is that going to stop me building TBRs? No, not at all. So let's go through. And as always, I'm going to attempt to do hard mode. We shall see how it goes. So some of these have placeholders. Some of these I won't pick till a little bit later on during the year. I just wanted to get this out because one of the squares is to take a book from another person's TBR. So I thought if I get out some of my TBR, it could help some people in the meantime. So here we go. Here is the board. Prompt number 1 is a book that's published in 2025 and hard mode is to read it before the end of 2025. In this, I have put The Possession of Alba Diaz by Isabel Carnes. I have a e-copy of this through NetGalley, so I'll be picking it up soon. For mixed media, this is one I was stuck on a little. It's a book that includes mixed media elements, and the hard mode is a book that includes more than 3. So I have placeholdered one in. This will be the first or possibly the only reread I've put in, and that is Night Film. I read this, it must have been about 5 years ago now, and I remember thoroughly enjoying it, and I've been craving to reread it again. And this has a lot of different elements in it. We've got articles, we've got websites, pages from books, etc. So it definitely has at least 3 elements in it, and this is like a dark thriller. The third prompt is a indie or self-published book, and the hard mode is a new to you author. This is one that I actually got from Sarah's announcement video. It was one that she mentioned. The Cotton Candy Massacre by Christopher Robertson, and this is on my autumn TBR, so this would be perfect to get round to this ASAP. For a paranormal book, it is a book that's considered paranormal. It has topics such as ghosts, alien abduction, psychic abilities, etc. And hard mode is there are ghost hunters or paranormal investigator characters. So I've put in 3 potentials, but I am leaning towards Haunt Sweet Home. But it will depend on what is available when I get round to this prompt. Let me know if any of these don't fulfill it though. Obviously only so much Googling and trawling Reddit boards can only give you so much information. Prompt number 5 is Stolen from Another TBR, and the hard mode is a TBR for Horror Bingo. So obviously I'll be waiting till other people put out their TBRs, but this is one that you can come to for some inspiration if you're looking for a book. On the next row we have vampires, and the hard mode is the story takes place in modern day. For this I've put in Woman Eating by Claire Coda. I believe this is modern day. I don't know, I've seen people say great things about it and I love the cover. That's pretty much all I need to know in order to go into the book. Number 7 is a water setting. So a book with a prominent water setting. It can be coastal, you could be on an island, it can have a lake, an ocean, etc. And the hard mode is the majority of the story happens in or on the water. And I've popped in Darcy Coates From Below for this. Last year I had a Darcy Coates book on the Horror Bingo and I've not picked that up yet. I need to be getting on Darcy Coates. I feel like I could enjoy her. Number 8 is a book with a horror movie element. So a book that features horror movies in some way, pays homage to horror movie characters, revolves around a movie. There's a character that's a horror movie connoisseur, etc. And hard mode is to watch a horror movie. So I will easily watch horror movies. That is my genre of film. But I also wanted a book to put in here as well. So I'm not sure where my copy is, but I have let the right one in. I have seen the films, I've seen the Swedish one and the American remake. I really want to read the book. I believe I have this in another Bingo TBR for reading an adaptation. So my plan will be probably to read this book and then I will want to rewatch the films. So that'll tick hard mode as well. Spell, ghost or scare in the using the letters from the title and the author's name, and the hard mode is the author is BIPOC, which is Black Indigenous Person of Colour. So I have put in The Dark Place by Brittany S. Lewis. This is a book I've been wanting to get to, so it's about time I did that. For Liminal Spaces, this is a book where the story includes a liminal space, which is a place in between worlds, planes, universes, etc. I recently did a video of some recommendations if you're looking for some recommendations. The hard mode is the book has an even number of pages, which was definitely an interesting one. I have settled on The Staircase in the Woods by Chuck Wendig. The edition that's available at my library is even number pages. And speaking of library books, prompt 11 is a library book, so a book you've checked out of your library, or you can borrow from a friend if you don't have access to a library. Hard mode is to return it on time or in a timely manner. That's hard for me, I'm not gonna lie, but I am very good at utilizing the renew element of my library. This is one I'm just going to go to the library and pick something up, so I don't have anything in this prompt. And again, the next one is one I'm going to pick as and when, and that is picked by chance. So a book that is picked by random via a spinner wheel, jar pull, pet pick, etc, etc. And the hard mode is there has to be at least 10 possibilities. So I will do this as and when. I'll probably do a spinner wheel because I've been obsessed with them recently. For a book that you have been putting off, it's a book that's been on your radar but you're not reading it for various reasons, and the hard mode is to make it the first book you fill out on this board. Now, the book I put in for this, it's humongous, and it made me really think about what to put into the other prompts, because if there was any books that I was planning on picking up soon, obviously I didn't want to accidentally read them first. So we've got Our Share of Night by Marina Enriquez. This is one that I have been desperate to read. I was going to say I don't know why I haven't. I know why I haven't. I know why I haven't picked this up. But I do have it on my TBR for October. And knowing that I can't read any of the other books on this bingo board till I complete this will hopefully keep me on task with this, because it's been on quite a few monthly TBRs. It scares me, guys. Next is a book with LGBTQIA plus representation, and the hard mode is the representation is the main character and there are queer themes. For this, I'm going to be reading Andrew Joseph White's new release, which is You Weren't Meant to Be Human. Oh, I wanted to read this like ASAP, but I just realised I can't until I've read Our Share of Night. Oh, I'm gonna have to pick that up as soon as October starts, man. And yeah, so this is a trans man who finds out that he is pregnant, and there's a big discussion on and in the population he has to give birth, so very much the themes are explored throughout. For a buddy read, it's a book that you read along with other people. It can just be you and a friend or a large book club, and the hard mode is to participate in the discussion. I dip in and out of and try and read the books for the Creepy Book Club, which I will put down below. This is run by Nightmare Maven on YouTube, and their November book is Don't Let the Forest In by C.G. Drews, and I have it here. I want to read it. Perfect. I feel like I'm going to have lots of things to say about this, so it'd be perfect for a discussion. The next prompt is a book that's recommended to you either by a friend or an online book person. Hard mode is it's out of your comfort zone. So the books that I really struggle with are digital books. So anything that's an e-book, I really struggle with reading it. So I decided I'm going to do a ebook for this. I went on TikTok, looked for horror KU books, and the first video that came up, had a look, and I picked Seed, which I will pop the screenshot here of it. This has been on my radar, so this is actually a really good book to have come up. For a novella, which is read a novella, and hard mode is it's by an author you've read from before. So I have read quite a few Stephen Graham Jones books, and he has those 2 new novellas that have come out. So I've popped The Babysitter Lives in here. It could easily be the other one. I can't remember what that's called, but The Babysitter Lives sounds really fun. Then we have a planty eco nature book. So a book that centers on planty and nature based horror, bugs, plants, etc. And the hard mode is the cover also includes nature elements. Now, the book I've put in for this, I'm a little bit nervous about because I've actually not heard great things from people that have read it. I've seen quite a few people DNF it as well. But it's Overgrowth by Mira Grant. I am cautiously optimistic that I will enjoy this. Yeah, just fingers crossed on this one, guys. Next is a title that includes a verb. So there's a verb in the title, and the hard mode is the book is a backlist, which is up to your interpretation. And for this, I have popped in Looking Glass Sound by Katarina Ward. This will be my first by this author. I actually have quite a few of hers on my shelves, and I've just not picked any up. Yeah, no, I've not read anything by this author. So I'm looking forward to this being the first one I read by her. Oh, I've just noticed there's a little house in that jar. That's cute. I really want to read Last House on Needless Street, so I'm excited. And finishing up this row, we have Second Chance. So read a book that you've given a second chance to. Could be based on the author, the subgenre, format, style, a book you previously did not finish, etc. And hard mode is it's got an odd number of pages. I went through all of my DNF'd books and my paused books. I didn't have any horror books with odd number pages. And then I thought, oh, wait, I am queen of getting books out of the library and then not having a chance to read them and taking them back. So I went through and I found 2 books that I am interested in. I took out from the library, didn't read, and had to return them. And one is a middle grade, which is The Haunting of Tyrese Walker. And then the other one is a non-fiction, which is Murder at Home. They're both still very much intrigue me. So I figured just be a case of whatever's available at the library when I go to the library to pick up a book, basically. And now we're on to the final row, and we have a book with an animal on the cover. It has to be a book that an animal that exists in reality, so no mythical or cryptid creatures. And the hard mode is the book is longer than the last book you read. Okay, so I have put Starvaker in for this one, which was actually a recommendation from Sarah. It's not an overly big book, so I have to be quite strategic with this one. Presumably I'd have to read it after the novella for it to be right, because everything else is going to be too long. There's a possibility I swap this one out, but that is what I've got in at the moment. For a 1-word title book, a book with 1-word title and the counts as a word. The hard mode is the cover is colourful and not black. I wouldn't say this is overly colourful, but it's not black, so I've put Intercepts in here. It's a book that I've been curious about, and it's available on KU, so I should just read it, and I think that this will be perfect for here. For a debut book, which is the first book published by the author, and the hard mode is it's their only released work, because often you can just go back and read the first book by an author, but in this instance you want it to be the only one they've released so far. I've put in Symbiotes, which is by Amanda Linnemeyer. I have this on NetGalley, and it is the author's first work. The next prompt is a book that works with another goal. So this can be a reading goal, a reading challenge, a readathon, etc. And hard mode is it overlaps with the YouTube community, and you share the event in the comments of the announcement video for Horror Bingo. I am going to combine this with the hardest reading challenge you'll ever do, which I am doing monthly kind of wrap up / vlogs for. So make sure to subscribe if you want to see any upcoming ones of that. One of the books, I think it might be my last book I have to read for the subgenre challenge, I've put in a like cozy horror. I believe that Smother Moss will fulfill that. So this is the one I'm going to read, and it is going to cover both horror bingo and hardest reading challenge you'll ever do. So check out the hardest reading challenge you'll ever do, or Herkit, if you are interested. And then our final prompt is a book with social commentary, so a horror book that has themes surrounding social issues. And the hard mode is the author is of a marginalized group. For this, I will be reading Ring Shout, which is again a book that's been on my TBR for the longest time, and this is giving me the perfect excuse to finally prioritize it. If you use Storygraph, I will put the link below. I've done a challenge for this on there if you want to join it as well. Make sure to check out Sarah's announcement video and give her a subscribe. These are the physical books that I've currently popped in. As I said, none of these are kind of set in stone, so if you do think of a book that you think would be a better fit for me for any of the prompts, please let me know in the comments. If you just want to say hi, drop a bunny rabbit in the comments, one that's looking a bit more alive preferably, and make sure to like and subscribe. We have some fun vlogs coming your way soon, so thank you for joining me today, and I will see you soon. Bye friends.